You just discovered what it takes to become a legend. Grab your eye. Let's mobilize.
Hello and welcome. I am your handsome King Nerdy Bear. There can only be one handsome King Nerdy Bear.
There is only one boss.
As you may already know, I have been watching quite a bit of Cyberpunk 2077 videos here on YouTube. One particular one that stood out to me from Space JB, a whole new game, Phantom Liberty and patch 2.0. Let's go ahead and check this out. Begin!
What it do, tunes? Welcome to Space JB. I am your crusty-eyed, freshly revived sleeper agent host, Solomon Space, and thank y'all for clicking this video. The CDPR team has been working very hard at keeping most of the information about the upcoming expansion under wraps. Yet, after a surprise presentation at the Xbox Game Showcase that caught most of us off by surprise, there has been massive amounts of deets and some supposed leaks dropping about what is to come in this iconic RPG. And in this video, I will be your net-running info bro, breaking down the biggest wins for all of us fans, as well as talking about what is to be expected in the mega expansion, as well as the upcoming 2.0 update. Without further ado, let's go ahead and cook up these engines, and let's take off. From everything we have learned about this upcoming spy thriller of an expansion that could be giving James Bond a run for his money, this leads me to believe that the Cyberpunk devs not only have been listening to us complaining fans over the last few years, but have found ways to build upon, expand, as well as fix a lot of the mushi that has plagued the game since its launch. Thanks to a whole truckload of improvements and patches that have massively changed the game's new director, Gabriel Armantangelo, which I probably just butchered that person's name.
Sounds like an Italian pizza.
You're a bigger fool than I am.
Putting Cyberpunk first and talks about a complete overhaul to rework the entire base game. It seems now we might just be getting the game that we all were hoping for. And if y'all remember,
the real
I
game
did a video asking if it was possible to add some of the features to this game before the massive expansion came out. And this would improve not only just the immersion of Cyberpunk 2077, but its overall replayability. Calling the expansion Cyberpunk 2.0 myself. From everything that has been said from the game's directors, devs, and some of the few lucky gamers who have gotten a chance to play it firsthand and talk about their experience, it seems like these Chumbas may actually have pulled off the biggest game glow of the decade. One of these glow-ups is coming in the form that will affect one of the game's core features, which is overhauling its policing system. Cyberpunk's new game director said that this would add a whole new level of immersion into Night City.
And that is a complete overhaul to the cop system as well as vehicle-to-vehicle combat. It gives you a whole new feel and dimension
Cyberpunk cops
to the city and enjoying
what
Night
you
City.
want, what you
really
gonna do.
Watch out for Max Tack.
Going back to the video that I made, one of my biggest points was trying to find ways to give the game more immersion. And this is just the tip.
Immersion, she said.
So now when you mercenary goons decide to start causing mayhem all across Night City, the police will send out a cop to investigate what the hell is going on. There are reports that depending on your wanted level as well as the area location, the AI's urgency and pursuit of you will vary. If you are up in Haywood, they may idly show up and not be in much of a rush to find you. For instance, if you were in a place like North
That's too realistic.
Plaza, they will be there in an instant ready to pop you in the ass. This shows us lore lovers and those seeking more out of the game a plain idea of simply who owns the NCPD, giving a feel to status and really pulling players into that divide of powers. With info pointing towards that, depending on your wanted level, the fuzz will start to use smarter and more advanced tactics like roadblocks, traps, and the AI is going to work smarter to stop you, even chasing you for longer and further.
It's going to be exactly like cops!
Some Cyberpunk sources have brought up that there also will be more things involving NCPD and the world itself. Things like more chases and gang fights that feel more natural, crimes happening in the city at random already sound amazing to me, and maybe I'd be asking for a bit much if later you heard the info on N54 about the crime happening, or possibly heard about the cop chase in your area.
Might as well play the Bon Jovi song.
This would just add
Wanted.
a bit more level of immersion, keeping your head on a swivel would be smart when walking or cruising around Night City. Lastly, there has been plenty of warnings that you should be looking out for Max Tech when committing crimes, making it sound like these guys have been in the hyperbolic chamber juicing up to the next power level. Not much info is solidified as to what all they will be capable of, but if it's anything like the Edge Runners anime, then I'm taking a bump of black lace and going all in. We all have heard that we will be getting a new vehicle combat system, and let me tell you, my chooms, this makes me so excited, like as if I was popping in Twisted Metal on the PlayStation all over.
Oh wow, that's
finally allows us the ability to shoot while driving, as well as use melee weapons and guns while on two wheels for those demons who want to wreak down some good road rash style justice. CDPR Senior Communication Manager Paul Berza stated, with Phantom Liberty would be introducing vehicle combat, you'll be able to fire guns from your car or bike or use weapons which mount to your car. For me, not being able to shoot weapons from your car was one of those features that was a bit disappointing when the game launched. Your first mission, you get into a vehicle combat scenario only to find out that it is a mission specific and you have to be a passenger. What the
Put up in your ass, insubordinate and churlish.
Getting this feature added onto the game with the next big patch will allow those who haven't experienced the mod for this their chance to fool around with this before the expansion drops. My questions to the devs is, does this mean that we will be getting a feature of having these actions with gangs potentially lead up to being chased down and shot at, or the enemy being able to continue an attack even if you decide to cheese it out of the fight? Think about it. You start a fight with a powerful gang, and with the patch adding healing cooldowns that I will talk about later in the video, 2020 hindsight, you realize you gotta book it. The fight wouldn't just be over when you left the area. They could potentially decide to chase you.
Maybe playing this on very hard mode might be a bad idea.
Especially if you go back to that specific district. Let's talk mounting weapons.
Fuck it, I'm gonna play it on very hard mode.
I am all for this James Bond Mad Max style feature being added to the game. I just see myself driving in first person and letting the guns rip, watching shells fly, hearing the slightly muffled noise of the guns roaring.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
This does help me remain hopeful that we will be getting a full-blown customization garage or shop to fix up your wheels. Thanks to the game supporting the mod community, I can very much see this being the case for this game. Some sources have pointed to Mama Wells being a big part of that aspect, with talks of there even being an actual site to purchase rides from.
Seen that garage?
Versus the text and task style of doing it. We as immersive RPG lovers need a way to feel more unique, and for some of us, this is how our rides look and what it can do.
We'd wiki.
Four wheels in the name. Let me explain something. Okay, there's a 40-year-old version. Yeah. Okay, that's what this is, and this is 50-year-old version.
With the time period and tech available, this would be just as popular of a feature in the game as it is in the mod community. We all know the main reasons us cybernauts love Cyberpunk 2077, and it's the cybernetic enhancements. The chance to get chromed out is unbelievable. With the new rework in the patch, as well as what's coming in the Phantom Liberty DLC, tied in with info that we got from gamers who have talked about their hand-on experience, it sounds like this is a dream come true. Cyberware and armor levels now go hand in hand versus it being clothing-based. Your chrome will come with some limitations based on how much of it you have installed, as well as if you're trying to use it all at once. This will make spamming enemies with hacks not as smart or as easy as it is now. Certain attributes and skills will also tie into your cyberware capabilities. A new cyber psychosis feature is being added to the game as well. That isn't as grand as the anime, yet it will cause players to lose health as your character's limits are being pushed. How this will actually look or turn out is still under wraps. One feature that y'all know Big Daddy Space is over the moon about is the new cyberware installment animation. I went on a whole rant about how this would be absolute gold for immersions if they could add add this into the game. For a game that is heavily based on cybernetic augmentation, having that feature being limited to a simple press and click, it's installed felt like a swift kick to the Mr. Studs. Not only have they given us a big piece of immersion capability, but it will all be from V's perspective. Watching things get installed from a first-person perspective and just listening to how it sounds and imagining what that could feel like is only going to make this game more unbelievable. This does come at a heavy price, and that is for old-gen consoles that are excluded from the Cool Consoles Club. Which for all my old-gen console crusaders who just can't afford the latest and greatest, that's where your older bro Space here wants to help out. And your support on this channel gets me ever so closely to being able to comfortably do big giveaways like PS5s for all of my viewers. So if you like this video, be sure to katana that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. The skill tree now has been reworked and to me makes way more sense than trigonometry because that shit was absolutely created by aliens.
I can answer that. For money.
First off, the skill tree actually looks like a proper tree versus a sad dehydrated rose bush that your grandma never waters. And big shout out to Reddit user Jord Goin for posting this photo. This tree also includes a host of new thumbnails that look pretty groovy. Twitter. One thing to take away from the new skill tree is that attributes no longer are separated, but now seem to all be under one big tree. Talks about a new air dash, finishers that are Mortal Kombat worthy and fatalities, and you will finally get the ability to deflect bullets with your katana, which wrong, but shouldn't that have already been use a katana? Instead of doing a lot of hard work to only have most of the perks given small overall percentage boosts to things like your health and damage with specified weapons, but now seems that there is a bigger focus on these perks giving you new abilities, and possibly way more. There is also a rookie, pro, and phenom that looks like you have to unlock one level at a time to even be able to have the option for more powerful abilities. We will be unlocking the relic slot when the expansion becomes available and not when the update drops. This new relic tree is said to be a big part of the Phantom Liberty expansion, and entering around the area of Dogtown will help gain
be able to use that relic tree
that will unlock very powerful abilities. I don't know much, but from other creators and posts, it seems that it will alter your builds drastically, helping to push your playstyle no matter if you prefer sneaking around, hacking and snapping necks with ease.
That's very cheesy. Yeah.
Or if you are a Carnage crit heavy Mad Merc blasting your way through everything, the relic tree and abilities will be there to help. These new overpowered abilities seem to be more cyberware based. One of these mentioned was being able to see enemies through walls. Overall, the skill tree looks aesthetically better, easier to navigate, and with way more attention to helping players create their specific version of V. As expected, there will be new weapons added to the game with the new patch as well as when the Phantom Liberty expansion drops. Guessing that the black market will be the prime location to find these very powerful weapons and attachments. Reports say that there will be new, more powerful attachments, more badass scopes, and finishers that will seriously give this game some much needed juice. The weapons now have an added tier list to them and have been lightly reworked. As well as the loot drop system has also had a nice upgrade that will allow you to find very unique and slightly more powerful weapons than what you could be carrying to make gonks freeze and strike a pose. Now to talk about the Phantom Liberty expansion itself. This has a lot to be discovered when it releases in September, and we know it will be an action-packed espionage spy thriller with tons of new characters that V will meet.
Hell yeah.
One of these characters will be the NUSA President Rosalind Myers, who we are sent in to rescue after her spacecraft is blasted out of the air over Dogtown. Talk about going into panic mode. This ex-military badass will be able to help out a bit though. The real question is, can this unification plan pushing junkie truly be trusted? The NUSA has a lot of secrets that need more than a confession booth to be forgiven, and this could be a plot to get another crack at her ultimate goal, global domination. We will also meet a new character that goes by Songbird, who is the netrunner that makes contact with V on rescuing the president, and is the one that says she has a way to help V with the relic chip. Hacking the line, taking over Johnny Silverhand's position for a little, which will appear in engrammatic form, but she is also a character that you can walk up to in the game. Her role in this may be bigger than we first perceive, which could lead to more twists and turns. We also have the Hackney boy and my imaginary surrogate father, Idris Elba, playing a sleeper agent named Solomon Reed, who we will meet at some point in this expansion. His mission is to help the president, and that means at any cost. Guessing that Reed will steal the show when it comes to this new expansion, but whether he will have his own agenda is yet to be known. We can't forget about the intimidating Dogtown leader, Kurt Hansen. This sturdy fella, once a corpo lawyer, by the time of 2077 is an ex-military soldier who took an opportunity to take over the small area of Pacifica known as the Combat Zone. Kurt is said to have 1,000,001 reasons to want to take President Myers as hostage once the president's plane was yeeted out of the sky. Did Myers, a former ex-military, double-cross some fools to become president? Or is this all just some crazy plan by a lunatic with mommy issues? We will find out this September, with us getting this whole new section of Night City called Dogtown, which looks like the Las Vegas Strip and Miami South Beach bumped uglies, then had a baby, which later that baby was
that pyramid does look like the Luxor.
That got a little dark, didn't it? It's a video game, leaving behind unfinished casinos, hotels, engineering equipment. Also, what the fuck is that? Not much physical mapping of the inside of the combat zone has been revealed to us, so we don't know how big this area is just yet. Some specific events that gave certain creators and gamers special access to this expansion for reviews, lucky bastards, only give us a small glimpse as to what we will see once we peasants get our chance to play this fall. Dogtown is said to be inaccessible to V until they take a certain call after around the Voodoo Boys mission. Said to have only one way in and one way out, it would seem trying to get access to this area without proper permission would be risking some serious doughboy biscuits that could lead to your death. Don't believe me? Then go ask Nina Cello. Oh, you can't, because she zeroed on a filthy mattress right outside of the combat zone. Based on your connections and choices that you make in the game, this could change the experience from how bumpy or how smooth your experience is when it comes to Dogtown. With a lot of mystery still surrounding Colonel Kurt Hansen, I am sure all will be revealed during the expansion. There are still some juicy clues as to who and what we could be up against come this September. The NUSA backed by Militech during the Unification War, which also was known as the Metal War, this was due to the fact that those who fought in the war were equipped with the most high-tech augmentations and cyberware available. These soldiers from this war were no fucking joke. Taking over a freshly abandoned chunk of Pacifica during this Unification War in 2070 was easy and gave a safe haven for any of the ex-Militech soldiers that would follow him. These cyberware-enhanced death machines would form a heavy-handed militia
Supermarines, just say it.
To protect
Cyberpunk
and regulate all that happens within the walled-off area. If this place has its own militant force, it makes me wonder if they have their own form of government. This is a lawless zone, yet seems that they instead base everything off certain rules that are enforced or possibly punished differently, if at all. I think to myself, what could their hierarchy system look like, and who it could be comprised of? There will be so much content to explore in this new expansion that there is talk that there will be just as much Johnny Silverhand in the Phantom Liberty expansion alone as there was in the entire base game. So for all you Rocker Boy lovers, we get to dive deeper into V's and his relationship, as well as possibly find out more about his past. Overall, this upcoming patch, as well as the expansion, will be packed with so much actual content, it's going to push PC spec requirements to a whole nother level. On such a level that will cause this game to be out of the range of most of us common PC owners, even if it's a custom-built PC. There are still certain specs that my PC damn sure can't hold up to. And looking at these things, I absolutely know that my PC is blowing up as soon as the intro plays. I thank God and my fans on Feedfinder, or else Space wouldn't have never gotten
Good thing I got an Xbox Series S for this.
Involving the Phantom Liberty expansion, we've gotten so much more information that gives us a better scale of what we're going to be going up against. I cannot wait to drive around this area and just to poke around and see what's out there. Huge props to the Cyberpunk community that have posted some of their personal bits and opinions on the expansion for those who've gotten to play it. I think you all rock. I'm looking forward to seeing how the different choices will play out. Ultimately, changing which direction the story goes that was created for this, there is even talk of there being another secret ending for V that you can discover. Night City is about to look and hopefully feel completely different. I hope that there are other world immersion features added to the game, like the actual
this was a pain in the ass to do on very hard.
Animations. A couple more features
so many times.
car storage, customizations to your character like tattoos and hairstyles would be great. Maybe just a little more Night City nightlife for V to partake in. You know, for the times that you don't just want to be immersed.
Strip clubs.
All you do is kill fools and spend eddies. But if there's more things to enjoy and do in Night City, maybe even an option to get V in different shape, like lifting weights, who knows? And just to end this off with a few space theories of who to trust, who not to trust, does this have anything to do with Myers' past? Is Kurt not actually the bad guy? Does Songbird actually have a fix for Johnny, or is that all a fib? And can V take over Dogtown? Does this have anything to do with Night Corp and the AIs taking over, or just a few of the things I'm looking forward to finding out?
Great questions.
Ultimately, it's really guiding me to think that I should possibly start a whole new save when this game launches in September. I'm probably gonna go with the Corpo and just have a blast. And now I leave it up to you, my tunes. Is this gonna be the glorified 2.0 we've all been asking for? Is Cyberpunk 2077 finally getting the glow up it deserves? I think so. And remember to love one another, spread as much positivity as you can, and when things get really hard, try not to give up. Push through, persevere, and see what waits for you on the other side. It might be a pot of gold.
Take me to the other side.
Let's go ahead and end transmission, and until my next video, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Alright, well, that was a very good video. Once again, that's a whole new game. Phantom Liberty and Patch 2.0 by Space JB. In fact, I may just subscribe to him. There we go. I am the 504th subscriber. Alright, well, very great questions, very great presentation. I swear, I think I'm gonna, get my playlist out of, all the classic songs, just play Bon Jovi. Wanted, dead or alive. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Well, I look forward to this game, the Phantom Liberty expansion, and it does seem like a whole different game, and I'm loving it. I mean, this is what they're capable of just with the expansion. Imagine the sequel. Although we're probably thinking a little too far ahead in the future there, but I like to hope. Anyway, if you enjoyed my reaction, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, feel free to subscribe, ring that bell like the good choom that you are. Until next time, same Handsome King content, same Nerdy Bear reactions. Oh yeah!
Good luck, V. And, relax a bit, okay?
Now are you gonna tell me about the grenade?
Oh, that. My brother ripped it off during a fight. With pliers.
Unhappy family.
You don't know the half of it. I could have chipped another one, but I don't know. I think this matches my style more.
Uh-huh.
Besides, it's a real icebreaker with the ladies. Got any powder for my nose?
And does it work?
Not really.